Welcome back to Keeping It Real. JOSELITO in the flesh here, live with the lovely Nati Natalia to my left. Today we got a reaction video. We're going to react to some TikTok videos. Let's get it going.
Do you think my outfit is offensive?
Are you Mexican?
No.
Yes.
I think it...
Is that offensive? So...
I mean, if you're wearing it like a costume, depending on what you're saying, right? That's
what are you doing with it? Are you being a prick? Or are you just like wearing it? So it's like whatever. So am I offending the Chinese if I wear like a...
Kimono?
Yeah. I mean, what if I want to like just like look like that for a day? I mean, you could be anything you want to be when you're an adult. You just want to look like it. I'm not offending anybody. Maybe you're just soft. That's what I think. So far.
Stereotypes that are offensive to people.
It's not yours.
Do you find my outfit offensive?
Yes.
It's not yours. She takes it off, but it wasn't yours. It was actually his. That makes sense. There's logic there, huh?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's not culture.
You don't really understand what their culture means and what it means to wear these things, like the hats and the maracas.
But if he understood it, and she doesn't even know if he understands or not, but if he understood it, it would be okay.
With that logic, as long as you understand, it's fine. Using real logic here.
But I had to.
Is this a college? I hope it's not a college, because I've seen a lot of tapes of college, and let me tell you, I'm 34 years old. I got kids. These videos make me think twice of sending kids to college, because it's like the stupidity that I hear from these kids. What are you learning? I'm just saying.
Understand where all of this comes from for it to not be cultural appropriation.
Does my outfit offend you?
No. You look nice.
Do you like my costume?
Yes.
Does it?
I'm guessing these are like native Mexicans.
Mexican people, yeah. They're
notice
so cool.
Notice how the entitled Americans don't act or act the way they act, and the actual Mexicans, they're not offended, man. They're not looking for problems. That's the thing. Americans, we look for problems. Like, what can we make a big thing out of because we bored? I noticed
offend
that.
you?
No.
Do you like my outfit?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Does my outfit offend you?
No, not at all.
No,
nothing. That's good.
That explains it.
Just normal shit.
That explains it. God.
Yeah, it's like literally like that video just shows you that it's an issue to people who aren't even of Mexican descent, but to the own Mexicans, they actually feel like happy that, their culture is being used, or, like that they're interested in it in the first place. Like it really shows you the perception of people and what a difference that can make.
Yeah, perfectly said. America needs to wake up. A lot of young kids I've noticed running around like they really know what they think they know what they're talking about. But then you see then you ask them like, yo, let me see your passport. How many countries you been to? Where you been around the world that you think you know something? And it's very evident that they don't. But they act like they do, and we live in a society where like, oh, everybody could be heard. Everybody must be heard, even though if they're right or wrong. I feel like I need to be heard. Nobody. You got to make sense. Back in my day, you have to make sense, or you get punched in the face. It was that simple. If you didn't make sense, we don't deal with you. Now it's like all the cowardice are taking over, and it's just like we could do everything the beta males have ever done back in the day, and we're gonna be in charge, and you're gonna respect it and like it. And this is this is what happens when you do that. Feel bad for the kids; they're so lost. I got another video here. I'm gonna load it up. Give me a second here. Doing my producer shit. You don't get producing like this anywhere else, I promise you. Whether good or bad, take it. Yeah.
Woke mean to you?
Oh, God.
Well, picking up on what was just said, the difference between PC and woke is that politically correct in terms of being respectful to others' feelings and not being racist or sexist is fine, but woke has gone completely off the rails. It is a different animal.
Pauline, you proudly describe yourself as woke. How do you feel about Sean's take on it?
I can understand where Sean's coming from. But wokeness for me is turning me from somebody who was brought up on the tail end of the White Australia policy, great amount of change in my formative growing up years, to a person who is very different to what my mother and father knew.
Sean, what about you?
Why is that guy like nodding his head in agreement? What did she just actually say?
I was
Like,
actually
it turned me into a different person than my mother. Like, we don't know your mom. Like,
I was trying to follow. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really understand it all. Maybe we should go back. I want to try to understand what she said here.
She was saying nothing.
She probably was. A lot of times when people try to justify this woke thing, it usually is that case. But I do want to hear, because I just want the truth. If you got something good to say, I want to hear it. If it makes sense, I'm cool with it. I'll ride with it. But if it don't, it's a problem. You should probably shut the hell up. Yeah, be logical. I know they tell you not to be, but you probably should be.
How do you feel about Sean's take on it?
I can understand where Sean's coming from, but wokeness for me is turning me from somebody who was brought up on the tail end of the White Australia policy, great amount of change in my formative growing up years, to a person who is very different to what my mother and father knew.
Sean, what about you? Like, have your views changed over the years?
She basically said nothing. It was all vague. You could have literally shut the hell up and you said the same thing. Like, I don't know any new information except you're different from your mother, which I think everybody's different from their parents. So like, whoa, woke. I must be woke. God damn, under that logic. Whoa, woke here, everybody. We didn't even know. This lady, she opened up the doors. I don't think that's the case, but I know people will take that seriously. I don't know why. Don't.
Talking political views, I was raised in a left-wing family whose primary concern was the wealth disparities as they affected the working class, and I share those sensibilities. But around the 2010s, what could be called the old left that I've just described have allowed themselves to be completely consumed by the new left and an obsession with identity politics. And the new left have gone so far down this path of identity politics that they are
ridiculous.
Beyond the horizon and over the waterfall. So to me,
I think that a lot of people feel this way, but don't quite know how to explain that or don't know the difference. Like, back in the day when it was like the old left, before all of this new stuff, it was, you were voting or you were politically affiliated to this based on you were a working class family and, you wanted better for that.
Yeah.
But it's like now it just got to such an extreme.
I agree with you, yeah, because actually, I grew up in the 90s all over the Northeast, usually Jersey, New York, PA. And for the most part, it's Democratic up there, and I usually agreed with Democratic policies. But then I moved to Florida, and then, like, it's not even that I moved to Florida. I think I would have agreed with the same thing anywhere. It's just that the left definitely, they made themselves very different from what they were. And I noticed a lot of hardcore Democrats that were, I was never political, by the way, but a lot of people that were about that side, and I never give a damn. But now I think I probably should. But they seem to be going and moving away because they weren't for that, And I think a lot of us feel this way, and I think that's why these videos are coming up, because it's like, yo, this is a different animal. What are they doing? What's happening? There's a transition here. Why is it happening? We need to figure that out. Who's in charge of all this, too? We got the ESG and all this. Like, it sounds definitely like there's a lot of left side on that. And it's like, why? You got to ask. I mean, I think money's the bottom line and some kind of power, but kind of went on a little rant there. But anyways, let's finish this video.
It's not so much an issue of left and right, but it's more liberalist versus anti-liberalist.
Has this affected your personal relationships?
Yeah, well, yes, it has, because if you express any hesitancy whatsoever around the vaccine, you're an anti-vaxxer. If you express a desire for freedom of speech, you're told you're supporting hate speech. If you express concern that biological males in women's sports might break girls' hearts as well as their limbs, you are a trans.
It's always a name.
So it becomes impossible to have conversations, and this fractures relationships at an interpersonal level And the same thing is happening at a societal level and a nationwide level because there's no longer any political discourse.
That was pretty well said. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, no, I mean that's one of the things. Like, you know, we had questions about the vaccine, but then we'd be, you know, it'd be, oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. Like, it's always jumping to the worst.
Like, comment, subscribe, ask questions, email us, hit us up, Instagram, YouTube. What else we on? Twitter. We don't be on Twitter too much, but we're gonna start. If y'all start talking, we start chatting. All right, hit us up.